Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today. Let us begin. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are starting another lecture today. Yep, here it is.
Reading this morning from Canto 2, Chapter 3, text number 12. This is a very, very wonderful chapter. Verse by verse, it's very wonderful. So, akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo uddhara diti vrena bhakti yogena nijeta purusham param. Summarizing and dismissing other forms of worship and just take the devotional service. Then yesterday evening's verse, Etavan eva yajatam iha nikshayaso dayaha bhagavati achalo bhago yad bhagavata sangataha. The highest perfectional attainment, this unalloyed devotional service, becomes possible by Bhagavata Sangataha. We heard this verse yesterday as a refrain or theme-like construction of verse where devotional service is outstanding and is the culmination, pure devotional service is the culmination of all other auspicious processes. And falling short of that, in Prabhupada's language, is but different phases of phantasmagoria. So where do you go from there? In text 12, this morning's verse, he's going to speak about knowledge in relation to the personality of Godhead. There's two phrases in the verse, Jnanam Bhakti Yogaha and Karikata. So, Harikatamritam is a phrase that was used at the end of chapter 2. Harikatamrita, the Amrita of Harikata. This is what persons are supposed to hear at the time of death, or just people in general. Now he's going to take that same phrase, Harikata, and explain or expand further on what happens when you hear Harikata in Bhagavata Sangataha, in the association of a pure devotee of the Lord. Very poetic, very beautiful. I'll go through the verse, the terms or words within the verse. Jnanam, Yad, Apratinivrita Gunormi Chakram, Guna Urmi, common female name in derived from the Sanskrit language is urmila. Guna urmi. Urmi means waves. Guna urmi, the waves of the material modes, subside, more than subside, complete suspension. Prati nivrita, like pratikshana dhanalokasya, but a fraction. There's almost eliminated. Pratinivrita guna urmi chakram. Chakram is chakra, the circle. So this is, in this case, it's a whirlpool. The waves and whirlpools of the material nature is up to the limit of complete eradication. This transcendental knowledge of devotional service. So that's a pretty good advertisement. It's a good product. One should get some. Jnanam yad apratinivrita gurnormi chakram. Then atma prasada, complete self-satisfaction. Uta yatra ganeshva asamgaha, where there's no sangha, there's no association or attachment to the modes of material nature. So it not only subsides the waves and the whirlpools of material nature, but one is brought transcendently beyond it, or outside of it, or no longer in the association or attachment to it. Kaivalya samata pantas tu atta bhakti yogataha. So, in the purport, Prabhupada puts a lot of emphasis, following Jiva Goswami, on Kaivalya Panta. You'll hear more about that, but it's the path, Panta, that's samatha, completely approved by the transcendentalists or great authorities. So, in other words, the Hari Katha, that's hearing and vibrating the messages of devotional service, that Hari Katha is fully transcendental and is approved by all transcendental authorities. Ko nivrito hadikatasu ratim nakuryat, who would not be attracted, who would fail to be attracted to this. So you know who will fail to be attracted? Persons who are too much attached. But if they were to understand what it is, how could they fail to be attracted? So again, Jnanam is referring to knowledge about this bhakti yoga. So Jnanam yad pratinivrita gunormi chakram, transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari, is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material modes. Atma prasada. Such knowledge is self-satisfying. Uta yatra guneshva asangaha. Due to its being free from literal attachment and being transcendental, it is approved by all authorities. Kalivalya samata patas tvarta bhakti yoga. Then who would fail to be attracted? Ko nivrito hadikataso ratim nakuryat. In the purport, Prabhupada begins by making reference to Bhagavad Gita 10:9. Bhagavad Gita 10:9 is one of the Chatra Sloki verses of Bhagavad Gita. Start with 10:8. This is 10:9. 10:9 Bhagavad Gita is Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantas Chamam Nityam Turshanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So here's how he paraphrases. According to Bhagavad Gita 10:9, the characteristics of pure devotees are wonderful. Because the verse is describing the characteristics of pure devotional service. Now these pure devotees have wonderful characteristics. The complete functional activities of a pure devotee are always engaged in the service of the Lord, and thus the pure devotees exchange feelings of ecstasy between themselves and relish transcendental bliss. Madchita, minds fully absorbed in Krishna, fully engaged in thinking of Him. Madgata prana, their lives are devoted to Krishna. Madchita, Madgata prana, bodhayantak, they're enlightening one another, or as preaching Krishna consciousness, parasparam, amongst people in general. Katayantas chamam nityam. So this is, he's amplifying the Hari Katha. This is what pure devotees do, Hari Katha. Katayantas chamam nityam. And Tushanticha, Ramanticha. In that, in the association of one another, they are exchanging feelings of ecstasy between themselves and relishing transcendental bliss. This transcendental bliss is experienced even in the stage of devotional practice, like we're doing sadhana, avastha, if properly undertaken under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. So Prabhupada here is saying, as Rupa Goswami says, even in sadhana bhakti, if properly directed, it connects one with Krishna, because devotional service is transcendental. Even in the preliminary stages of sadhana, devotional service is transcendental. Our consciousness may not be so transcendental, but devotional service is transcendental because Krishna accepts it. It's being offered to Krishna under the direction of a spiritual master. It's transcendental and it acts. It acts in such a way that the unlimited happiness in the mature stage can be experienced even preliminarily. And that happiness, even the preliminary stage, so far surpasses material happiness. What is material happiness? It's flickering sense gratification that ends up in suffering. And everybody knows it. Just the experience subjectively of material happiness has no comparison. I mean, it cannot be compared to the spiritual happiness, even in the sadhana stage. And in the mature stage, the developed transcendental feeling culminates in realization of the particular relationship with the Lord by which a living entity is originally constituted. So that is, the stage of bhava precedes the stage of prema. In the stage of prema, one's constitutional position is understood. In the stage of bhava, I should say more specifically, one's eternal relationship with the Lord. So there's two stages. My eternal relationship is to serve Krishna, but then in service to Krishna, in different rasas. The rasas are not relished until the prema stage is there, until the bhava stage precedes the prema stage. That's what he's saying. And for the bhava stage to be reached, one has to pass through the sadhana stage. So those are the topics of nectar devotion. Sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. 3 divisions. Sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. And in the sadhana bhakti stage, one can experience the preliminaries of that ecstasy, then the full ecstasy, and then one's particular rasa with Krishna, just by practicing. Thus, bhakti yoga, being the only means of God realization, is called kaivalya. So he spends a substantial amount of time discussing what is kaivalya. Kaivalya is a word that impersonalists like also, as in Kevala Advaita, the term that describes Shankaracharya's teachings. Kevala Advaita means absolute monism, but we're interested in Kevala Bhakti, absolute devotion. Nothing else. Squeaky clean. Just bhakti. No jnana or karma. Just bhakti. Kevala bhakti. So, bhakti yoga means kevala bhakti. Or bhakti yoga means uttam bhakti. Bhakti yoga means without a mixture of anything else. So, to reach that stage, one has to understand that's the goal and strive for that goal, and strive for that goal under the association of qualified persons then. Bhagavata Sangaha leads to Guneshu Asangaha, free from the contamination or attachment to the modes of nature. Then he refers to Jiva Goswami, who has said from the Vedic version, Eko Narayano Devaha Ravaranam Parama Aste Kaivalya Sangyataha. There's Kaivalya once again. So Jiva Goswami is commenting on this verse, taking this word Kaivalya Samatapanta, Kaivalya specifically, and goes to the Vedic version and finds this Kaivalya term also in the Vedic text, which establishes that Narayan, the personality of Godhead, is known as Kaivalya, and the means which enables one to approach the Lord is Kaivalya Pantha. Meaning the Supreme Lord is absolute, untainted by anything material, and the process of bhakti that connects one to the absolute is also absolute. It's as Kaivalya as Krishna is. It's as pure as Krishna is. Untainted.
Hare Krishna. So let's pause the lecture here for today. Any comments, any questions from the devotees? Sharvali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, very beautiful lecture. And this sentence I liked very much, which said that pure devotees have wonderful characteristics, so that we are seeing every day from our Guru Ramapada Swami Maharaj. So I could connect with that. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Sulochana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In that lecture, one point is mentioned like in the sadhana stage, our consciousness is not that much transcendental, but the devotional service, whatever we are doing, that is transcendental because Krishna is accepting that. So I like that point, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Shankar Prabhu, you have something to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry, I joined late, so I missed some part.
Sure, no issue. I saw your mic is unmuted, so that's very important. Thank
No
you.
problem. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Um, I was little bit confused with the lines where Maharaj was saying Kevalam Bhakti is it's a pure bhakti without jnana or karma. But without jnana or karma, I mean, those are the initial stages, right? Without that, we will not understand the bhakti, or am I missing something?
Very good technical question, Mataji. Thank you for this. I see Kumarika Mataji on call. If Mataji would like to share anything here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Mataji, what all jnana that leads to bhakti is very useful. That is why they are insisting, they are saying that the verse also the jnana comes, the word jnana comes. So whatever is favorable for leading us to bhakti, like understanding who God is and who we are, what is our sambandha with the God. So all that requires some jnana. So, but it is not a must and should for bhakti. Anybody can start off like, take the case of Dhruva Maharaj. So he had a goal and he was given the bhakti marg by his spiritual master, and he started without any gyan. Nothing, he was only interested in the kingdom or something. But by practicing that bhakti with so much of concentration, just within 6 months he achieved something which we cannot even conceive of. So the bhakti path as such, the bhakti does not require jnana or karma. One need not go through the karma yoga or the jnana yoga. But yes, for you and I to understand who we are, that initially that jnana that we learned when we learned the Bhagavad Gita Sandesh or whatever, which told us that yes, you are spirit soul, you are not this body, and you are and Krishna is the absolute truth, and how you are related to Krishna. So that is how he starts the Bhagavad Gita with the some amount of jnana. So that much jnana is required for us, but anybody who will be submissive to the spiritual master like Dhruva Maharaj without our querying mind and all, and directly practice bhakti, also they can attain bhakti. So bhakti is not dependent upon anything like karma and jnana. For ordinary souls like us who are always questioning, yes, maybe it is required, but not like people who are very directly they can approach bhakti without any jnana. That is what is my understanding, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yes, I understand. But like my thinking and my problem was that this category of where I belong to, that proportion, that category is very big compared to the people who can really approach without gyan. So in general, if we say, then we need, if we don't talk about really those realized people, then without gyan we can't actually even understand what a pious jewel we are getting in form of bhakti. So that is what. So yeah, but I can understand your point. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. We have some other devotees to share some light on this as well. Some more clarification they would like to offer.
Hare Krishna Prabhu and Mataji. Actually, by doing devotional service, we get automatically jnana and vairagya. Is it not? So once you get the jnana, and especially the realized knowledge, that is very much required for devotional service. Simply, there's no need to approach directly jnana, but simply by devotional service, doing devotional service, you get somebody to teach you Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, and you'll get the knowledge. It's not necessary to do jnana and karma in the beginning stage itself. And here itself, basically, initial stage itself, they got a lot of bliss, transcendental bliss. And they exchange bliss. This I don't understand. They exchange the feeling of ecstasy and transcendental bliss. Is it by their presence we are able to get the bliss, or do they exchange? At what mode do they exchange? I don't know. That is another question which I am asking. But as far as jnana is concerned, it will come automatically. If you start doing devotional service, acquiring knowledge is also part of the devotional service, and that will reach you to pure devotional service. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yugalokishore Prabhu, you were saying something.
Hare Krishna. Just some more points what Mataji and Prabhu mentioned. So when we do bhakti, bhakti is actually a primary element of that, and then supported by gyan and karma. So especially gyan, karma actually is not required. The gyan, now what is this gyan? This gyan is not something which actually takes away from Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that in when we practice surrender, when we actually fully surrender to Krishna, there are 6 elements: anukullesya sankalpa, pratikullesya varjana. So whatever is favorable to bhakti, one should accept it, and what is not favorable, one should reject it. So when we are actually on the path of bhakti, the primary is actually bhakti. When somebody is on the path of gyan, so gyan is a primary and bhakti is a secondary element. So when somebody says about the gyan, so it is more about this getting that this material world, rejection of everything in this material world, neti, and how this differentiation between the material element and the spiritual element, and then their destination is towards the liberation, whereas our or their goal is liberation. Our goal is actually to serve Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is a bhakti, and that is the gyan. So, but when something which help us to progress on bhakti, definitely one should accept it, because our primary element is bhakti.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hope that helped, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, this is clear. So basically, the intention is what we are talking about, and not the means.
Yes, and the means is actually, our means is bhakti. Now, whatever it actually aids to our bhakti, we should definitely do anukulesha sankalpa. And our gyan is not about any other things. When we talk about gyan, as Kumarika Mataji said, that this knowledge is all about serving Krishna, all about knowing ourselves, all about knowing a Supreme Lord, and all about relationship between us and that, and all about our duty to that Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is all bhakti element. So it may be knowledge, but actually that knowledge is a bhakti element to understand about I, him, and the relation between I and he. And Prabhu said that Vasudeva Bhakti Yoga. So the result of bhakti, actually Gyan and Vairagya is the result of that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Guru Kishore Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Guru Prabhu, you had something to say? Okay. You're not audible, Guru Prabhu.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. My points on the question by Shweta Mataji. So we have this famous shloka. Anyabhilasta shunyam jnana karmanavritam anukuleni krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. Anyabhilasta shunyam. There is no other desire. So the definition of pure bhakti is given is this: there is no other desire, and the bhakti is something which is not contaminated by jnana and karma here. So the same thing which Maharaj spoke, something similar. So my understanding is that the jnana and karma which is referred in this shloka and what Maharaj said is the jnana which leads to impersonalism, that jnana yoga. Those jnana yogis, their main purpose is not bhakti, but impersonalism. I think in the previous lecture we heard that the impersonalists, they interpret the Bhagavatam in their own way. So that is the what Gyan yoga it is being referred, and karma is also again the karma yoga, which is also so the Gyan yoga and karma yoga, which these two things are absolutely absent when it comes to the bhakti yoga. However, like the Gyan yoga is knowledge about Krishna, as Yugal Kishore Prabhu told, that it is pointed towards Krishna, or service which is done towards pleasing Krishna is absolutely accepted, and that's what like is bhakti all about. So that is just my understanding. Maybe devotees can correct, or Shamkun Prabhu, if you would like to offer anything on this or some other point in the class today, Prabhu.
Nothing, Prabhu. It's just my understanding is very similar to what you said. That when jnana is deprecated in the Bhagavatam, it specifically refers to the details given in some of the Vedic scriptures, particularly the Upanishads and others, where there's an explicit statement: do not focus on these kind of forms. It is meant to say that don't focus on the variety of material forms, focus on the spiritual forms. But some people get so fixated on it that there are these verses called Neti Neti verses. Not the Supreme Lord is not this, not that, not this, not that. They get fixated on not this, but what is the one to be actually fixated upon, that there are other set of verses. They don't go there. So that knowledge of that jnana is the one which is being deprecated and called as unnecessary. That's it.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Prabhu, if you have anything more to share from today's lecture, have a good Prabhu.
It just today's lecture, one of the points made me start thinking here. The point was we have to hear from a pure devotee, uh, like a pure Bhagavata. That's what Maharaj said. And what he gave two different means and definitions of this pure devotee. One, he said that a pure devotee is the one who's always engaged, 100% engaged in trying to please Krishna. I'm not getting the exact phrase that he said, but it is his entire motive throughout the day is that. And there was also the other definition where he said that one comes to the stage of bhava and prema. But coming back to the first one, what set my thoughts here is just a minute, it's a background noise. Yeah. What set my thoughts here is am I at a stage where I'm always trying to do something for Krishna? No. Do I sometimes speak about Krishna? Yes. So what happens to people who listen to me who is not fully who's nowhere near the fully utilizing one's consciousness and one's endeavors and one's desires to just please Krishna? Should I stop speaking? Should I keep quiet? So I was trying to figure out what do the scriptures say, because Srila Prabhupada did institute the morning Bhagavatam class where his disciples would discuss Bhagavatam. So it's more of it was a class, a discussion where beginners in the path of bhakti would start discussing Bhagavatam. So discussion is yes, but then this discussion invariably means we are also hearing. So what to do here? Because for most part of the time we are with people who are like us, not fully there as yet. So what are the scriptural references that one can still hear from a not so fully pure person? So what happens there? Or it's just a wake-up call. Uh, do everything for the sake of Krishna. That was my thought. Not sure. It was at that point in confusion that I was there.
But Prabhu, when we hear that whatever we do as a service to Krishna, so will that not solve the problem? Like, I mean, what I understand from you is that a person is 10% engaged. So it could be like how the full-time devotees might be we are referring to, but even Maharaj said, even you are doing office work, you are doing this, so something other activities we are doing. And those activities, like from our consciousness, we can dovetail to Krishna. It could be a platform for pleasing to Krishna. So will that not fix the problem which you are referring to here, Prabhu?
Correct. I didn't mean a person who's just like what the phrase you used, a full-time devotee. I meant even at the stage where we are, it can be our material occupation can also be done purely for Krishna. But
Prabhu,
am I at that?
we lost last 10 seconds suddenly.
No, maybe I just muted and by mistake. I said we can conduct any job. We can be a fruit seller, we can be a vegetable seller, and it can be done for the pleasure of Krishna. But my point was, it's okay to do that. But what in like I see sometimes in not most of the times in my own case, it is not for Krishna's pleasure. It is for my own pleasure. So it is still a challenge to do everything for Krishna. And when such a person has to speak about Krishna, what happens? That was my point.
Okay, got it, Prabhu. Anyone would like to offer anything here?
Hare
Um,
Krishna, Prabhu. Oh,
yes, Mataji, please.
can go ahead. Hare Krishna Prabhu. You are very humble, thinking that whatever you say is not making an impact. Yes, the purity may not be our purity. I will not say our purity. Your purity may not be equivalent to that of, say, Guru Maharaj, and so the impact will be less. But then your purity is much more higher than all ours put together. So we all not only relish listening to you, but we learn a lot listening to you. So please don't think that you are not making any. You should not. You should stop talking, or you are not making an impact. Purity is the force, and you are not say 100% pure, but maybe 80%. But we all are some very much below you. So and we learn from you.
Rightly said, Kumarika Mataji. Mataji, I hear your voice is not, you're not well, or everything all right, Kumarika Mataji?
No, I have a throat infection, Prabhu.
Okay.
So that's why I said I could not make it to your house today.
Okay, take a good rest, Mataji. Yes, Shweta Mataji?
Yes, for the Shamkun's Prabhu's question only. I think I have spoken, I have told to him, but I'll just quickly tell that how I got involved more in the Krishna consciousness. I was visiting ISKCON since last uh, 14, 15 years, sometimes in the functions, sometimes even I was attending the Bhakti Vriksha also in Dev Lalit Prabhu's house. Everything was happening, but then I didn't have more inclination than what I was doing. Not I was not intended to do little more than what I was doing. And then it was during Corona time when Shamkun Prabhu started taking the Bhagavad Gita class. And Lalit Prabhu gave me the link and asked me to join. I started joining just as a formality because yes, I was interested. Some percentage of interest was there, but then in the beginning, I was just listening with probably 30% or 40% attention, doing everything else. Whatever can go in my ears, it's going. Otherwise, it's okay if it's not going. Some three, four, I don't remember. Something after two, three, four, whatever classes, something went inside me. There was some change. I can't say what. There was some change. And then I started leaving my work aside and sitting and listening. And that time onwards, I started getting more involved actually. My intention was okay, if I have little free time, I'll try to give it. So that is the effect of your speaking, Prabhu. That's what I wanted to share. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
It's the blessings of others. They worked through me, but yeah, not me. It was them who did it.
Thank
So,
you.
Prabhu, again, when you were planning to start Bhagavad Gita classes, Prabhu?
Give me some. I don't. Let me go think through it, Mataji. Let this yatra get over. After that, we'll see.
Yeah, Prabhu. Even I also do so many things here and there. So next time we take Bhagavad Gita class, I'll keep everything aside and listen to you. Sharvani Mataji, saying something?
Yes, just trying to add to what Sata Mataji said. In fact, same for me also. I also started getting involved in this from the Corona time only. And there my starting was basically because there wasn't anything else to do because of the lockdown. So basically as a time pass exercise, I joined the classes. And then from today, it has become like I don't want to miss it on a single day. So majority of the credit for this goes to Shamkun Prabhu only. So he should never think on those lines that whether he should speak and whether his speaking is benefiting people or not. It is benefiting us immensely, Prabhu. Maybe as Kumarika Mataji said, that if we put a percentage on your purity level and compare it with that of Maharaja or some other even more advanced devotees, maybe you are less there. But when compared to us, you are far, far ahead. So gratitude to you once again. That's it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Let me be honest, Mataji. I mean, you're all very kind, but I see most devotees here. I rather than comparing it as 80, 100, I still feel there is so much I can learn from everybody here. And I'm happy that I have some nice examples, somebody who can serve. Basically, I feel uncomfortable when somebody says you're more than me, because I almost know for a fact that I'm just with you or still trying to learn from all of you. There are many things most of you may not know that I learned from all of you. The, the, there is something especially, like I may have been trying to practice this for the past 30 plus years, but there is something in those who start out new, which is uh, the real curiosity, really questioning the purpose, uh, trying to see where everything fits in. There's a genuineness in especially those whom we see who have newly started. Uh, and when that truth comes out, it's not like a fake thing, like somebody's trying to fake being present for a spiritual activity or something. It is genuinely they're trying to figure their way out. It helps those who have been practicing for 30 plus years to see the genuineness here. Let it's so nice for a person to exhibit this genuineness. It's nice, Mataji, that way. Thank you.
It's nice to see your humility also, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you all the devotees. It was a very wonderful way to conclude this week, glorifying our dear Shamkund Prabhu. So thank you all the devotees. Have a very nice weekend. Let's all connect Monday again. Hare Krishna.